We all share with you one of your goals, graduating from high school and earning your diploma. Thank you. My advice to all, don't let anything get in the way of fulfilling your dreams. No matter what the obstacles, never let anything get between what you truly want to do and want to be in your life. Another famous graduate from the Manchester school system, Ray Kroc, founder of McDonald's, once said, "Are you green and growing or ripe and rotting?" Tonight, you are green and growing with all the tools you will need to succeed. This wonderful world we live in will be a better place because of you and what you will become. You make us all very proud. Thank you. At this time, I wish you to rise for the posting of the colors. Please remain standing for the national anthem, which is sung by senior members of the music department under the direction of Amanda Kale. But before that, I ask the Guard, Marine Corps to please post the colors. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What's a
Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Master of Ceremonies for tonight's exercises, Mr. Keith Simpson, President of the Class of 2001.
Thank you, Mr. Crunch. Welcome to our special time this evening. We are so happy to graduate and equally happy to have you all with us. It is my honor for me to introduce to you honored guests on stage this evening. To my left, the principal of Central High School, Mr. Daniel French. Our principal speaker for the evening, Her Excellency, Governor Jean Shaheen. The Honorable Mayor of the City of Manchester, Mr. Robert Baines. Mr. Daniel Healy, Vice Chairman of the City of Manchester School Committee. Mr. Norman Tangway, Superintendent of Manchester Schools. Ms. Catherine Hamlet, Assistant Superintendent of Schools for Elementary School. Mr. Arthur Adaminkis, Assistant Superintendent of Schools for Middle and Secondary Education. Mr. Ronald Chapman, Assistant Superintendent of Schools for Business Affairs. Ms. Isabel Pellerin, Assistant Principal of Central High. Mr. Michael Clemens, Assistant Principal. Mrs. Rita Davis, Assistant Principal. And Mr. David Ryan, Assistant Principal. And Ms. Ellen Healy, Advisor to the Senior Class. And to the right of me, the class officers of the senior class. Keith Sheehan, Vice President. Kyle Simpson, Treasurer. Bryn Lovejoy, Secretary. Katie Smith, our 5th member. And I am Keith Simpson, the President. Our top 10 graduates tied for first place and our 5 valedictorians, Sarah Kleinschmidt, Priya Jahardana, Amy Nichols, Jana Mitchell, and Preeti Bond. These valedictorians are followed by Neela Bichjaka, 6th honors, Stephanie LeBlanc, 7th honors, Sigol Moyne, 8th honors, Amanda Kale, 9th honors, and tied for 10th place, Aaron Goldstein, and Laura Miller. This evening, we are fortunate to have as our honored guest and principal speaker a person of courage and determination, a leader who has been fighting for education and a teacher herself. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow graduates, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you our principal speaker, the Governor of the great state of New Hampshire, Her Excellency Governor Jean Sheehan. Governor.
Thank you. Good evening. It's hot, huh? Honored graduates, parents, friends, it's a real pleasure for me to be here with you on this very special evening as you begin a new chapter in your lives. This is a day that you all worked hard to reach. You should be proud of what you have accomplished. But no great accomplishment is achieved alone. Here with us tonight are your parents, your families, your teachers, your friends, the people who supported you when you stumbled and encouraged you to keep going. Tonight, we're celebrating not just your accomplishment, but their accomplishment as well. You're setting off on a great adventure into a world that is vastly different from the world that I found when I graduated from high school in 1965. Now, if you do the math, you know that makes me 53. But in 1965, when I graduated, our country was at war. Many of the young men I graduated with would soon find themselves in Vietnam. In 1965, there were still segregated schools in this country. And in 1965, fewer than 5% of the people entering law school were women. In 1965, a sharp calculator sold for $2,500 and weighed 55 pounds. Just a few years after that, an engineer from IBM would say of the microchip, but what is it good for? And in 1965, there were no personal computers, CD players, and no cell phones. There was no cable TV, let alone MTV. The world that you face today in 2001 is in many ways better than the one that I faced in 1965. We live in a time of relative peace. There are greater opportunities for women and for people of color, and technology is revolutionizing the way that we live and work. You have the opportunity to pursue careers that we could not even imagine in 1965. We are now in a technology-driven economy where success is built on ideas, on innovation, and on information. An economy where you will compete for jobs not just with students from West or Memorial, but with students from schools in Seattle and New York, in Tokyo and London. The education you received here at Central was only the beginning, not the end of your learning. Whatever you do now, whether it's going on to college, into the military, or into the workforce with a job, the chances are good that your first career will not be your only career. Even more so than for people in my generation and your parents' generation, learning for you will be a lifelong process, and your education will be the key to your success. That's why as governor I've made education a top priority, because education is the single most important investment that we can make in our children. You may have read about the great education debates in Congress, in the State House here in New Hampshire, or right here in City Hall in Manchester. I was here at Central a couple of weeks ago, and one of the questions that I heard from the students who I met with was why more money hasn't been invested in our schools, why Central hasn't gotten some of the renovations that students thought it should. Well, you may have dismissed these debates as just being politics. And it is politics. But that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Because politics is how we make our democracy work. And that's how you can make things happen. Because you have something that 18-year-olds didn't have when I graduated from high school in 1965. You have the right to vote. And never underestimate how powerful that right is. If enough of you vote, then the change that you want, whatever it is, will happen. As noted anthropologist Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So you have that power. I hope that you'll choose to use it. Thank you very much, and good luck. Have a wonderful life.
Thank you, Governor Shaheen. We have a gift presented to you by our Vice President, Keishian. Our second principal speaker today is a man of letters, a coach, veteran, teacher at Central High School. This gentleman is leaving the teaching faculty at Central, but he remains in our hearts as an inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow graduates, please welcome English teacher and coach, Mr. Wayne Sanderson. Mr. Sanderson.
Thank you, Keith. Principal French, Governor Shaheen, Mayor Baines, Vice Chairman Healy, Superintendent Tangway, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the scintillating class of 2001. By God, we made it. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man, in his time, plays many parts. It would be impossible for me to stand here before you without relying on the greatness of Shakespeare, to put feelings into words, to translate emotions into action. For 37 years, Central High School has been my world. For 4 years, it has been yours. We have played our parts in the classroom, in the gymnasium, on the playing fields, and in the auditorium. And now we make our exit, and we make it together. Each one of us carries away lessons learned, the joy of successes we have had, regrets for things left undone, moments shared with people we care about, and memories that will last for the rest of our lives. I consider myself the most fortunate of men. I have played many roles in my life that have brought me great happiness and personal satisfaction. I have been a husband and shared my life with Mrs. Sanderson for 39 years.
God bless her. I have been a father and helped to raise a son that continues to make me proud. I have been a grandfather to 4 delightful children who fill my life with joy. I have been a friend to many and have had that friendship returned to sustain me in both my happiest and darkest moments. I have been a coach and shared my love of sports with hundreds of young men. But it is my role as a teacher that I want to talk to you about tonight. The highest reward from a person's career is not what he gets for it, but what he becomes from it. Many years ago, I chose teaching as my job. But you kids, and the hundreds and hundreds that went before you, made it my profession. You made it my career. You gave me a purpose. I developed my skills because you demanded it. I worked harder and harder because I didn't want to let the students down. When people ask me what I will miss most about teaching, there is only one response: you kids. No time with you was ever wasted. Every moment with you was worthwhile, whether I succeeded or failed. When I was down, you made me laugh. When you were down, I hope I made you laugh. When I was complacent, you gave me new challenges. When you succeeded, I felt worthwhile. When you floundered or failed, I shared your frustration. And I learned much from you. When something didn't work, I learned to try something new. When problems arose, I learned much about problem solving. I learned much about relationships. I learned much about sharing. And I learned a lot about what is really important in life. A chapter in my life is over, and I look forward to whatever lies ahead for me. You too are closing a door, but so many more are opening for you. There are many roles still waiting for you to play, and the world is your stage. My wish and hope for you is that you play those roles well. You will soon decide on a career. You will vote in state and national elections. You will become husbands or wives. You will be fathers or mothers. These roles will demand that you make choices. The easy choices are not always the best ones. The hard decisions often require sacrifice and compromise. You may not always do things right, but you must always do what you think is right. Happiness, I have discovered, is nearly always a rebound from hard work. You need to work at maintaining your health, because if you don't take care of your body, where will you live? You need to continue to nurture and feed your mind, because if you don't, you'll always be a spectator and life will pass you by. You need to work hard to take care of those you love, because if you don't, relationships will wither on the vine and leave you all alone. You need to do the best you can, the very best you know how, and continue doing so until the end. If the end brings you out all right, then what is said against you won't amount to anything. If the end brings you out wrong, then 10 angels swearing you were right will make no difference. I hope I made a difference in some of your lives. But if I didn't, someone else will. And you will make a difference in someone's life down the road. And if we don't try to make life better for those around us, there is no reason to get up in the morning or to sleep soundly at night. I want to end this the way I started, with one of my favorite quotations from Shakespeare. They are great words to live by. This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. God bless you all. Enjoy tonight, and don't be a statistic.
Thank you, Mr. Sanderson. We have a gift for you today, presented by the treasurer of our class, my brother, Kyle Simpson. The senior members of the music department will now sing "Here's to the Night."
the MSA Rugby Club, Bill Bradley, Dunkin' Donuts, Ben and Jerry, and the entire country of Canada. Now, most of my writing has been for the little green during high school. And it's not really news that we're graduating. And I decided to get an editorial because most of the people I'll be discussing are up here on stage with me. Hi guys. So I wrote a top 10 list entitled Top 10 Pieces of Advice on Graduation. Number 10, wear sunscreen. Let's get a riff-off over with. Number 9, remember that we're all human. No one's perfect, not even Mr. Columbus, so don't treat them that way. No one's entirely worthless either, so respect everyone. Number 8, don't get caught up in success. Some of the happiest people I know flip burgers or pump gas, and some of the most unhappy are, quote, successful. A patch or diploma or trophy or even a Mercedes will never make you happy. Number 7, never stop dreaming. The poorest man is not the man without a cent, but the man without a dream. You'll never do anything before you dream it, so don't be afraid to think big. Number 6, don't be normal. Dance on street corner, sing Rocky as you pageants. Most people probably think they're a little weird anyways, so you might as well have fun. Number 5, believe in something. Honor, duty, God, love, whatever. Number 4, get your priorities straight. Don't be too busy getting that promotion that you forgot why you're in your job. Or too busy getting A to remember why you want to learn. Take the time to practice revision, love your family, and take care of yourself. The details come later. Number 3, keep things in perspective. Quite frankly, are any of you going to remember this speech in a few years? Probably not. Which is why I tapped instead of writing number 2. So, the number 1 piece of advice I have for you is to live by your heart. Find somewhere you love, make that your home. Find something you love, make that your profession. Find someone you love, make them your family. It's been a good 4 years, guys. I love you all and I'm going to miss you. But I'm here and we need our diplomas, so that's all. Thank you.
Our next valedictorian is Anna Mitchell. Jen.
Good evening. Parents, graduates, and faculty, here's another speech. Upon close of my 3 year in Hooksett, I had the monumental decision to make of choosing where high school. Available to me were Civil West, Memorial, Dairyfield, Academy, and Trinity. Quite a select. I chose Settle as I didn't want to feel action to the family, as my 2 brothers, mother, and 83-year-old grandfather, who's the audience today, all passed through these halls. I would like to take this opportunity to thank a few specific teachers. I was lucky enough to have Ms. Connor's mod A from here, and he showed that you actually can be enthusiastic about math at 7:45 in the morning. I end my 4 years with an excellent advanced math teacher as well, Mr. Lippert, who opened eyes to the Bibles, toolboxes, and cards of the pre-calculus world. Biology with Mr. Christie my sophomore year, and his humor and expectations was my favorite courses at Central. To my fellow 2001 graduates, congratulations, and I would ask you for this quote that results. Maybe disappointed fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. I'm glad I went to Central, as I greatly enjoy my experience here, and believe I am the best education possible. I will look back on the next few years, despite politics and because of the school. Since I'm like any other Manchester high school, and for that I'm grateful and hope it never conforms. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Please welcome our 5th valedictorian, Eddie Nichols.
I feel proud that I'm able to stand for all of you this evening. Parents, teachers, community members, and fellow graduates. essential and from the age in the scrapbook of our lives as the memories of our childhood. First day we walked through halls to the very night. Photographs of man, along with old stuff, dried flowers, paper clippings, and quotes that hold me all ages of tender remembrance. As I reflect back, it feels like yesterday that I was staging a mock party wedding within my basement, putting Forrest and Webster playground, or passing during classes aside. The school years have spotted by memories of frisbee games, dance parties, trips to the Cheesecake Factory, St. Paul, endless pay stops, and unforgettable groups. These memories are important for they represent the pictures in our scrapbooks of my and friends Central that will always hold a special place in our hearts. Every person we encounter, different effect on our lives, and these records are priceless. Through the wonderful high school years, we have each learned more about life and what's important to us. As we embark on the next journey into the future, we will build upon the strong foundation of our high school years. We will make our love more close to our heart, always being with us, memories of the past that have in one way helped us to develop character. The advice that I offer today is trace the future with an open mind for the potential to bring all happiness and success ever to be desired. Embrace play. Take the idea of change. Get out of your comfort zone and laugh in adversity. As a great man once said, do your best. You'll never know what you could have done if you tried. Never up. Nothing out of reach if you strive hard enough. Tonight we separate ways. Don't forget that we have the ability to be whatever we dream. We can climb, soar through fire, or stretch the midst of our imagination. So until that time, our lives essential are ending, but we can always touch the scrapbooks of our lives and the memories in their binding offer us comfort when we are away from the comfort of our families and friends. Congratulations, best of luck to the class of 21. Thank you.
To all our values, close ceremonies of and open remarks. Between remarks, there the city minister, the Honorable Robert James Raines. Good evening, everyone. President Governor for asking me a present citizen, thank you for your dedication. Also listen to the first speech ever given here in Manchester for graduation. That program is a lot. Just want to congratulate all the teachers that will be educating retired from Central High School this year. Mrs. Heller, Dr. Hussey, Anderson, Mr. Vaz, Mr. Morgan, and Mr. Morgan. Wish them success and thank them for well done. Congratulations to the class of 2001. Congratulations, your parents. May all your dreams come true. Congratulations. The superintendent of schools, person and ready to sing and loud, burn was the grass. Superintendent is here this evening. Please welcome Superintendent of Schools, Norman Tingler. Mr. Tingler. As superintendent of the Mass School District, I certify all students who are graduating this year will have requirements and the state of education and the school board. Therefore, apply to a high school level. Privileges, honors, could be there too. I hope that all of these graduates will meet challenges, confidence, compassion, and share your many gifts. You will make the world a better place to live. And now, my pleasure. Graduating class of Mr. Central, outstanding class 2000. request. Again, distribution closed. All speeches. Leo Souza, are you ready? Judah Evans.